Hi, I'm AJ Vallejo.
And I'm Kendall Beard.
And we're loving chaos. And you're watching
Up Late Austin.
Hello, I'm your host Jake. We have a great show for you tonight. I'm here with John Taylor and Meg Lauren, and we're going to find out a little bit more about them. They have a very interesting past and, separate lives, and now playing together. So without further ado, John, I'll just start with you. How you doing?
I'm doing good. Glad to be here.
All right. People see you on stage. They don't maybe know a little bit about you other than what they can find on their website, but let's talk about, where'd you grow up?
I grew up in Southwest Ohio, so north of Cincinnati.
And where is that in regards to Chillicothe?
That's like
That's why I went to recording school.
west of Chillicothe, okay. I think. Yeah.
Don't recommend Chillicothe.
Only drove through.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you grew up there, grew up there, or just born there?
Both.
Okay.
Yeah. Lived there up until we moved here 3 years ago. That area.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Okay. So what's it like growing up in Ohio, and what were your musical influences at that point?
Yeah. Growing up in Ohio was good. My grandpa played guitar in a bluegrass band and taught me my first chords, and then my mom was a piano teacher, so I grew up around music. Grew up playing, played in bands around there, played in church growing up, and just kind of wanted to pursue music more, and that was why we decided to move here to Austin. Yeah.
Nice. I know, Ohio. What was the music scene? What was going on back then? When did you start playing guitar? And was guitar the first thing, or was it piano?
It was piano. When I was probably like 5, I started taking from my mom, and then when I was about 10, I started taking guitar lessons and took to that more.
It was a little bit cooler.
I guess so. I wasn't as into like sight reading, and with guitar I learned more improv, and I just obviously started writing down
more
the road,
feel.
and yeah. So that's what I really got into.
All right. I'm going to come over here for a little bit. We don't want you to get bored over there.
Feel lonely.
Meg, how you doing?
Great.
All
so
right.
happy to be here with you.
You're a California girl, right?
I am, but I'm from a really small town out in the middle of nowhere. It's called Susanville. It's up by the kind of the Oregon border and the Nevada border, so very far north, east from what kind of and very mountainous, not at all what you would think of when you think of California, I think. Yeah.
You're kind of up in the Dallas-Fort Worth of Texas for
Yeah.
California. Because most of
Yeah.
California, all the major cities are pretty south, central and south.
Yeah, well,
but really south.
Yeah, and I did, once I graduated high school, I did live in San Diego, so all the way down south, and then I lived in San Francisco for a time as well, but we were a good, 4.5, 5 hours from San Francisco and an hour and a half from Reno, Nevada, which is the closest city to us. So we were. You
were out there. So when did you start playing music?
Yeah, similar to John. I mean, I come from a musical family. My mom plays piano and trombone, and my dad plays guitar and was in different bands. He was actually in a Beatles cover band for a while.
Awesome.
Yes, he was.
We just had the awesomest Beatles cover band called the Lonely Hearts Club.
Oh, cool.
And they're an Austin band, and man, they're so good. They just nail it.
Yeah, so that was a blast growing up, kind of watching him do things like that, and he had original stuff too, and a jazz band that he was part of, and so it kind of just always was musical in our household. Yeah.
So you start on guitar?
I actually think the first instrument for me was piano, but I picked up and put down a lot of instruments.
The piano seems to be the gateway thing because it is to learn theory. It's good. People always want their kids to start on that.
Yeah, and it's easy to get a sound out of it, as compared to like the trumpet or something where you struggle to even get a note out initially. But the piano, you can just sit right down and get going. So, but I played saxophone at one point very briefly, and violin, and and my dad would teach me some songs here and there on guitar, but it wasn't until kind of my senior year of high school that I really got a little more serious about the guitar.
Yeah.
And then when I went to college, I decided to major in music, and I majored in voice, actually. So, yeah, that was my interest.
And musical influences?
I really like John Mellencamp.
Yeah.
People like that. Yeah. Bruce
Singer-songwriters.
Yeah. That kind of Americana rock and roll thing. Yeah.
And you're going to hear that in his voice, too. What about you as far as musical influences?
Definitely Joni Mitchell, Bonnie Raitt, James Taylor, Jackson Brown, kind of, and of course the Beatles. Yeah, a lot of
Who's your favorite Beatle?
Parents' music. My favorite Beatle, okay, it's Paul. I have to be honest. I had a huge crush on Paul when I was little. I just thought his little head bobble and everything.
He can write a pop song.
And
I'll
I loved his voice. Yeah,
I'll give him that. But who's the most talented?
Oh my gosh, I feel like I can't answer that question.
George Harrison.
The people on the internet.
George Harrison.
For me.
I'll take the heat. George Harrison.
Okay.
In fact, no, also, joking aside, George Harrison taught them the chords. Like, Paul and John, they didn't know. Like, he was the one teaching them.
Yeah, who actually knew, music theory. Yeah.
Okay, I don't want to go off on a Beatle thing. I'm getting a little excited. I just love the Beatles. So when did you go from Ohio and make the jump here, and why? Was it musically related? Was it business? What, family? What?
It was music related. We moved in June of 2020, so we planned to move before COVID,
right?
And then it transpired over all that, and we still got to move, and made it through. So it was something else at first, but definitely this last year or so has been way better to just meet people and connect and play music.
And how did that affect your music? Because like people were going full steam, and then 20 they were about to record, they were about to tour, and then just crap.
Yeah, I think for me, I really learned how to just write by myself and practice by myself, where I was playing in bands or playing with other people and really just workshopped by myself. I started a podcast called Noteworthy during that time that I used some of that time with when I was on my own, and that's kind of what I did.
And and we're going to talk about that in the next section more, because I want to dive deeper into that. What brought you from California to Texas?
Yeah, I had always wanted to live in Austin, or for many years anyway. My older sister came out here, I think maybe when I was a junior or so in high school, and I came to visit her.
Yep, that's
went
what got me here, visiting my brother.
UT, and I was like, this is where it's at.
You went to 6th Street, and you're like, oh, yeah.
So I wanted to be here for a long time, but what actually made us was the catalyst for getting us out here was that we were adjacent to a major wildfire, the Paradise Fire in Chico. My husband and I were living in Chico, and our house didn't burn down, but we ended up being displaced by that because a lot of the housing market went crazy, and we were renting, and so our landlords were like, you gotta go. Yeah. So we were like, what do we do now? And it was kind of
So you went to our crazy housing market.
Yeah.
You didn't get much better, honestly.
But we just thought, we were like, oh, it must be kind of the universe telling us it's time for a change. And I was like, I've always wanted to live in Austin. Like, do you want to do it? Let's do it. And so,
So y'all just relocated. And now, what year was this?
This was 2019, I think.
Okay, so
we were
bit
here. Yeah, we were here about 9 months before the pandemic hit. So we got a little bit of Austin pre-pandemic before we hit that wall.
And how did that affect your career? Did you do more recording or more writing?
More writing for sure. It was really hard because I feel like I was just starting to get kind of a handle on the scene. I was going to a lot of open mics and meeting people and starting to get really excited about what the music scene could be for me here. And then it was like, okay, have to pivot, figure out how to be more present online, which wasn't something I was doing before. And definitely more writing. yeah, there's at least one song we're going to play tonight that I wrote during that. So, yeah.
And social media is where everybody went to. They were doing like, little stories or playing, music, one song a day, trying to connect. And by the way, let's give out your socials.
Yeah, on Facebook, I'm just John Taylor Music, and then on Instagram also at John Taylor Music.
Your socials?
And I'm primarily just on Instagram, and it's The Music Meg.
The Music Meg. All right. Yeah, that, so are you finding that things have kind of gotten back up to speed? Are we back to normal in the bars?
I feel like it. Yeah, it's just way easier to meet people and find gigs, and then things kind of come your way more too, like this, which is great. And it's way more organic and just easier, I think.
And don't you also find like the musicians? I don't know what what you guys did musically in Ohio and California, but I feel like Austin, there's just no threat of competition. People love I don't want to, but they're like, come on. They're like, they want everybody to be successful. There's no I'm going to shine. Everybody wants everybody to shine.
Yeah, for sure. It's a great community. I mean, so many of the people that I call my friends now are musicians that I've met at open mics or out at gigs. I mean, people have been so kind and so willing to offer advice and help. And it really is. I mean, that's a huge draw, I'm sure, for musicians coming here, is honestly just to be a part of such a wonderful community. Yeah.
And I'm going to get out of the way and let y'all play, but when we come back, I'm sure there's a story about how you guys met and why you guys play together. So that's another, Austin providing and offering opportunities. So, like I said, like a damn rehearsal, just intro each song, and I'll be back in about 15 minutes. I'm going to go behind you here so I don't trip you.
All right, we're going to start with a song that I wrote called Hurts Just a Little Bit More. Weddings and funerals only remind you of all the things that you lost. Feeling inside tells you of all the bitterness that you've got. Say the wind won't blow in your sails, so you just can't move on. Friends, they start to seem like strangers. Pretty soon all familiarity is gone. Then it hurts just a little bit more. You haven't had enough, and now you don't know what to do, and the pain keeps coming through, and it hurts a little bit more. You love to point your finger like you are squeaky clean. Like yesterday you recited today's modern routine. If only you would drop the pride, get yourself a piece of that humble pie, and now you don't know what to do, and the pain keeps coming through, and it hurts a little bit more. Anyway you cut this thing, it's gonna hurt. You'd forgive and move forward. It might hurt a little less.
but nobody really learns. If they always land right on their feet, you've got to pay some attention. Well, don't be cheap. If only you would drop the pride and get yourself a piece of that humble pie. And now you don't know what to do when the pain keeps coming through and it hurts a little bit more. And now you don't know what to do when the pain keeps coming through and it hurts just a little bit more. Hey, that was a song I wrote called Hurts Just a Little Bit More. Next we're going to do one that Meg wrote called June, July.
All right. Homemade rockets that you fire to the sky, revealing all your secrets while I try not to cry. Shoot 'em around, watch 'em spin by. Then we get just as high. When you leave, take me with you. Shall I grieve my lost tissue? Let freedom ring, 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 ring. Ring, 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 ring. June's been a bitch for many a year now, flying her false flag promises and summer sounds, while she steals arms and limbs. Her body's plucked from within my grasp. Even my own isn't owned at last. When you leave, take me with you. Do you feel how I miss you? I miss you so. Well, June casts a shadow on July summer skies. I'd heal you with words if I wasn't so lost in her. I've seen better. I've seen better days.
moon casts its shadow on July summer skies. I'd heal you with words if I wasn't so lost. And I'd say better. I'd say better days.
That was June, July, which Meg wrote. This next one is one I wrote with a few friends. It's called Baby and You. I wrote it back in Ohio with my friend Mark Joshua and Dave Cornett, who are also musicians, and they have their music out there, so check them out too. This is called Baby and You. 5:45 again. I know by the ringing it's up and down another day. Baby cried all night. Mom and I had a fight. I just can't catch a break. It's 2 cups of coffee, I ain't feeling great. I didn't know that I would feel this way. Well, I'm drenched from the shower. Who cares if it rains? Running out of time, always running late. Can't believe the words you say. Move on, but do we really change? Another dollar, another day, but somehow life keeps slipping away. Adding up pennies don't make no sense. Seems like hell and it feels like pain, but you know I wouldn't have it any other way. There's nothing left here to do but love that baby and you. Used to go out on a Friday night, used to play a show under neon lights, but those were different days. We ain't been out since I don't know when. I think tonight we ought to do it again. Let's drop the baby off at your sister's place. Another dollar, another day. What's money if you can't spend it anyway? Yeah, this thing is making more sense. Seems like hell and it feels like pain, but you know I wouldn't have it any other way. There's nothing left here to do but love that baby and you. Another day, another dollar. Every day we keep growing stronger. Yeah, this thing is making more sense. Seems like hell and it feels like pain, but you know I wouldn't have it any other way. There's nothing left here to do. There's nothing left here to do. There's nothing left here to do but love that baby and you. Love that baby and you. It's called called Baby and You. Next, we're going to do one that Meg wrote.
Yeah, this song was inspired by a Google review of the Bel Air Motel, which is over on South Congress. I just thought it looked like an interesting place, and I stumbled upon this truly fascinating Google review. Maybe I can tell y'all more about it sometime. But anyway, the person claimed that the best tangerines grow there. So this song is called Tangerines. In Hollywood, they're looking good out on the strip. But this ain't there, it's called Bel Air, but it's a far, far cry away from there. Well, Nikki stood out on the porch and lit a cig. If Jen were there, she'd push her chair right up to the rail, bare feet out in the wind. But he'll probably never taste her sweet mouth again. Tangerines ripen in the tree, fixing up her sugar just for me. Marry me, my motel mama, room on the run, peeling paint in the sun, paper thin sheets adorn the throne that I lay you on. Though passers-by did catch his eye, his gaze was fixed. They come to town to feed a bad rap that he caught way back when, out where they lived in the sticks. Well, he wasn't much, but she was the one for him. He could see her now watching from the car as they hauled him away. He'd come back for her, but she never promised to stay. Tangerines ripen in the tree, fixing up her sugar just for me. Marry me, my motel mama, room on the run, peeling paint in the sun, paper thin sheets adorn the throne that I lay you on, that I lay you on, that I lay you on, that I lay you on.
That could actually be an endorsement for that hotel.
Oh, yeah.
It's about their oranges. Now I want to go check it out. All right. So we got a lot to talk about. I was listening to you guys. I was like, where do you guys play next? Because I could totally see you guys at like wineries. Like I don't drink anymore, but I could have a sip listening to you guys. What do you guys have some upcoming things? What are your upcoming gigs?
We don't have anything together. We need to book something together. I'll be at OPA in South Austin on the 22nd of next month.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'll be at Fitzhugh Brewing on Saturday.
Tripping Springs.
Yeah.
I know exactly where
Yeah,
that
there
is.
you go with the brewery winery thing. Yeah. I'll be out there June 17th, I believe 2 to 5. Yeah.
Have you ever been to Abby Jane's, that bakery out there?
No, I haven't.
That's some good
So
stuff.
many great places popping
yeah.
up or to discover out in Dripping Springs.
A lot. I got some chickens out there. No, I really do. So I go out there a lot. Okay, so you guys play separately, so that brings me to my next question. Are you going to create a name together, or is it just going to be John and Meg, or are you going to like a leather and lace thing? What's the plan there?
We'll definitely continue to play together. I don't know. I like John and Meg.
Yeah. It kind of keeps it a little...
Keeping it simple.
Yeah.
Straightforward.
But who knows?
Yeah.
We put together a gig for South by this year, and then got this opportunity, and it's been fun and great, and we're getting better and locking in more. So I know we'll play together more.
Yeah.
And
and that's the other question. So you guys play separate. So how did you guys come together?
Yeah, well, we met at an open mic. Shout out to the Irie Bean open mic Thursday nights. Yeah, I've met a lot of great people there, and that's where we met and just kind of, did the thing where it's like, oh, I like your songs. Oh, I like your songs. Cool, we should get together sometime. And then from there, we, just decided we both already had some pretty solid original material that we could just add to.
Build on.
But we do plan to write together. And so at some point we will have like some joint material for sure.
There you go.
Yeah.
And what's your writing style?
I mentioned John Mellencamp. I like him.
I mean, how do
like,
you...
what do I...
Like, do you come up with a lyric and then you run to your
Oh,
guitar?
yeah,
or do you play something on guitar and then you're like, oh, I got to write?
Sure. So one thing I started doing like the last year and a half is I always finish the song. So if I come up with a line, I always finish the song.
Down.
So I crank it out, and that's been immensely helpful and really leveled up my writing. So then I kind of have a lot more to come back to, and some things stick out more. And even if not, I've worked that muscle and just grown. Yeah. And that was something I heard in the Beatles documentary that came out recently.
What I was going to say.
Yeah. And
you had to be memorable because you might forget it if you don't get it right.
And I'd heard that before, and I heard John Lennon tell George Harrison that, and I was like, well, I'm going to just assume he told me. And so I started doing it, and it was immensely helpful.
Yeah.
So
because think about it, we have phones, a million things that you could record an idea. They had nothing. They had to go into a studio and play around until they got it right.
Right.
Like that. I mean, think about how hard that would be for you.
Yeah. So I do a phone recording and I've got it.
Yeah.
It's done. Lyrics and everything.
Later.
Yeah.
What, do you have a certain technique, or is there a formula that you do when you write?
I don't really have a formula. I mean, sometimes it starts with me humming a melody. Sometimes it starts with a musical riff or something. And I will say that it's been super helpful. Again, talking about community, I do some songwriting groups. I participate in those. So sometimes some of these songs have come from just that, where getting a songwriting prompt, and you have a week to do it, and just being forced to dig deep, find an idea, and really see it all the way through, like John was saying, I think has really helped a lot. But I also, to what you just said, I mean, I have over 700 voice memos on my phone. So I don't know how I would have done it back in the day, because I record everything that pops into my head and just see where it goes kind of thing.
Maybe, do you ever piece things together, like this little bit here, this bit here? Or are they all individual?
Mostly individual, but there have been ones that I pieced together. And I've been trying to experiment too with kind of making, like how the Beatles did, kind of made those ones where they were kind of little snippets of songs that they kind of fit together. I've been kind of having fun with seeing what I can do with that. So I've even taken half-finished ones where I just have a chorus or something and then try to fit it in with, a verse from something else.
Do your own little Sgt. Peppers.
Yeah, right?
Strawberry Fields. That was some crazy stuff back then. what do you, what CDs, like what recordings do we have out there?
I released an EP, a solo EP, in March of last year, just under my name, John Taylor.
And this is at your website?
Yeah, linked on my website on all the streaming. And I recorded it down here, and that was really cool. And so that music's out there, and I'm looking to record again here soon. So hopefully do an album this time and get some more songs out there.
There you go.
Yeah.
Do you have a CD?
I don't, unfortunately.
What?
I'm really hoping to get something together here soon. I have one song on Spotify that's a cover tune that I did over the pandemic with a good friend, Kelsey Creek. And then I have a YouTube channel that I've been adding to more regularly. And I'm hoping to record actually a video of that last song with John and some friends and get that out there. But hopefully I'll be recording soon. That is the goal.
Yeah. And the song, I don't remember if you started, I think you started with the weddings and funeral comment. I say all the time, I go to more funerals now than weddings. Like you get to an age, you guys are really, really young, but you get to an age where like, I haven't been to a wedding in a long time, but I go to a funeral, So anyway, it just made me think of that. Yeah. All right, I'm going to get out of the way. You guys are going to do another 15 minutes, and we'll be back.
Okay.
This is another song of mine that's on the EP that I released last year. It's called Favorite Tear. They've been falling all day, it seems. Guess one or two wasn't enough. I should be out in the sunshine instead of sitting around in here like a bum. The TV's been on, but I ain't been watching. Guess my mind has been preoccupied with everything that has gone wrong. I don't know what I'm waiting on. Am I too weak or is the feeling too strong? I feel like I can't, but I think I can. But I'm still here, waiting on my favorite tear.
They say it goes both ways. Victory doesn't fall in your lap. Nothing given, nothing earned. Not everything's a trick or a trap. I don't know what I'm waiting on. Am I too weak or is it feeling too strong? Feels like I can't, but I think I can. But I'm still here,
waiting on my favorite tear. Not easy to visualize, not easy to actually do. Come to the party for the what, but if you stay, it's always for that who. I don't know what I'm waiting on. Am I too weak or is the feeling too strong? I feel like I can't, but I think I can. Sometimes it feels like it's the end, but I change the angle and it's a new way to begin. Perspective is such a funny thing. But I'm still here, waiting on my favorite tear. But I'm still here, waiting on my favorite tear. My favorite tear. My favorite tear. My favorite tear.
Yeah. Thank you. Next, we're going to do another tune by me. We're alternating back and forth. This is a pandemic one. This is called R.P.O, and it's my fun little dancey pop sing-along. So, yeah, you'll catch on pretty quick if you want to sing.
Yesterday I dreamed that we could be together, go out dancing on a Friday night. When they warned there would be some stormy weather, didn't think that it would mean such a lonely life, and I would have to live without you so long, so long. I just wanna hold you, baby, and love you all through the night. I do, baby, I love you all through the night. I do. Ooh, ooh, ooh. I do. Used to be that we could fly so freely, taking all the air that we could breathe. Now we wake with wings clipped enough to send us reeling, and I wonder when we will be free to see each other once more, once more. I just wanna hold you, baby, and love you all through the night. I do, baby, I love you all through the night. Ooh, ooh, ooh.
Yeah, that one's a jammer.
This next one's one I wrote
It's called The Big Come On. It's not released yet, but I definitely think next time around it'll make the cut. Heard about it since I was a little boy. The soon to come happiness and soon to come joy. The adults all said it wouldn't be long until all the bad would be up and gone. But the big come on, it ain't yet come. No, the big come on, it ain't yet come. I got older and wiser till I became a man, but I'm still out here living off the land. The small town gets smaller all the time, but still at the DMV you gotta wait in line. But the big come on, it ain't yet come. Oh, the big come on, it ain't yet come. The big come on, it ain't yet come. No, the big come on, it ain't yet come. The politicians and talking heads say someday soon we'll be out of the red. But I've heard that all my life, so I just smile and say, yeah, right. Come on, it ain't yet come. No, the big come on, it ain't yet come. The big come on, it ain't yet come. No, the big come on, it ain't yet come. Well, no, it ain't yet come. Well, no, it ain't yet come.
Thank you, thank you.
All right, we got one more song for you. Thanks so much for having us out here up late, Austin. This is awesome. And yeah, Meg's gonna finish us out.
This one is aptly called Running Out of Time. And I wrote this one with a good friend, awesome musician Kevin Martin. Shout out. Ready?
Left it all behind to make another mistake. Racing ragged through the days, burning hours in a hungry-eyed haze. But you tell me you're okay, so I rummage through my mind for something I need to say. The disconnect complete, the lives we lead, parting ways. Your face, it frames a change from all the choices I've made. And I'm running out of time
Just to be with you.
Try to change my mind
Like you want me to.
so many miles away from the spaces that you walk and wait out our own decay. We waver and we wave away our hope for saving grace. And I keep changing all my dreams and plans, well, the clock's ticking, always turning hands, and I'm trying harder not to tell myself that I give my all to everything else but you. It's true.
just to be with you.
I try to change my mind
Like you want me to.
But maybe wait, it's never too late to stay tonight. We fall in love, we fall into love.
I wanted to talk to you before we run out of time about the noteworthy thing.
Sure. Yeah. So over COVID, with not much going on, I had the opportunity to start a podcast radio show, the station in Georgetown, and I just reached out to people that inspired me or music that I really liked. So I got to talk with Phil Jones, who played on a lot of Tom Petty records and some of the late George Harrison stuff.
Who's a horn player?
He's a drummer, actually. And then he did
Okay.
percussion.
Okay.
Got to speak with David Grissom in town.
So are you doing all this locally? Like these musicians were here?
No,
Or
I
you're-
did them on Zoom, actually. 'Cause, I mean, it was kind of during the
gotcha.
COVID stuff
Yeah,
still.
okay.
Yeah. 'Cause Phil's out in LA.
Okay.
And I got to talk to John Ilsley, who's in Dire Straits, played bass, and that was a crazy good conversation.
Sultans of Swing. I would
Yeah.
love to hear all the
Yeah.
behind the scenes on that kind of stuff.
Yeah, and then a guy named Pat Byrne, who's in town. He's actually an Irish guy who's moved here, and yeah, he is great. So it's just people that
That's
I wanted to
awesome.
talk to as an opportunity to do it. The whole podcast thing really blew up over that time,
Yeah, it did.
and I'm really glad I did it. I've got some others in the works, but I've got those 4 out right now.
And where can we find this?
They're on YouTube under Noteworthy with John Taylor, but they're also linked on my website.
Okay,
So if
all
you're on my website, they're on there. Yeah.
That's very cool. Yeah,
Yeah.
I saw that. I was like, oh my God, got to talk to him about that. So that's one of his hobbies. I understand one of your hobbies is hiking.
Yeah. Unfortunately, we haven't gotten to do much of that recently. We do have a little trip planned coming up. But yeah, my husband and I, before we were married, hiked part of the Pacific Crest Trail back in 2016. So that's a trail that goes all the way from the border with Mexico up to the border with Canada. I believe it's 2,600 miles in total. We only did 646 miles. We were out there.
That's a
for-
lot, though. Like
Yeah.
for people that don't. Well, I mean, even for people that hike, that's
Yeah.
a lot.
Yeah, we were one of the, we weren't through hikers. That's what they call the people that do the entire thing. But even though we were section hikers, we did earn a lot of respect from the through hikers because we were doing such a big chunk.
Oh, yeah.
And we would like to go back and hike the rest of it, fill it all in. But yeah, we were out there for 48 days, and it was for sure just forever an experience that I'll remember, and yeah, just the experience of a lifetime.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Any other hobbies?
Other than
When you're not
music,
doing-
I
yeah.
mean, mainly it's music, but definitely I enjoy cooking a lot, and eating. And Austin
Yeah.
is a great city for eating. Yeah, so
What's your
those are
go-to dish?
probably that I make at
Yeah.
home. That's a good question. I feel like it's been changing. I've been doing a lot of stir fries lately, like
See, I never
Asian-based
do
stir
stir-fries.
fries.
I need to- yeah.
I love gochujang, the Korean spice, so I've been throwing that. Both my husband and I are really, we like spicy food, so
Yep.
so yeah.
There you go.
I've been throwing that in
I need
there.
to step up my game. I cook a lot as well. A lot. Other hobbies?
I've been getting
your
into
podcast?
been getting into sand volleyball lately.
Ah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So my wife's way better than I am, but I'm learning, and it's fun. It's a good time, and
I
yeah.
see. I live in San Marcos, and I see a lot of people doing that on
Okay.
campus. And
Yeah.
I'm doing practicing my hiking with my backpack on, and I see people. I'm like, it's just a little too sandy and hot for me.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, there's sands everywhere.
Yeah.
Especially if you take a fall.
Right. And when it's the summer, like you have to do it in the morning or the evening because it gets so hot on the sand by like noon.
Yeah.
So yeah,
touch it.
yeah, pretty much. But it's fun.
Yeah.
It's a good time. Yeah.
Do you prefer? Well, you've done some recording now. Do you prefer studio versus live? Like, do you have a preference?
I don't know. I like the studio a lot. I miss playing with a band. And I kind of tried to do that when we first moved here, and it was pretty impossible, obviously. Yeah. Been thinking about trying to do it again here lately, and I know that'll be fun when that falls in place. Yeah, playing with other people is great. And that's been great with Meg, just to even one other person just makes it not just you. It gets really boring when it's just you, I think. I don't know.
All the weight's on you. You can share some of it, and that's good. You guys were going back and forth. Okay, it's your turn, my turn, your turn, my turn.
Yeah.
Nice and diplomatic. Do you have a? I always like to ask this just randomly and catch you off guard. Favorite taco place in town?
Oh no. I would say maybe Veracruz.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of. That's a tough question.
We'll go with Veracruz.
That's another one.
I got you on the spot. He's got the privilege of thinking about it now.
Yeah.
Favorite taco spot in town?
Quantos Tacos. It's a food truck here on the east side.
Okay.
Yeah, it's kind of near Austin Guitar House for the music people.
Okay.
There's a little food truck parked there.
Yeah,
it's really good. Yeah.
Perfect. Well, guys, John, thank you for coming out.
Thanks so much.
John Taylor, Meg Lauren,
so
thank you for coming out. We're going off. We'll see you guys next week.